an hour, so I don't know. Good question. That's a quick question. I don't know how far we'll be through the activities, so see where we are. But I know it's a busy night and it's a weird time.
Yeah.
I turned off my camera because I don't want to be on that screen.
Hey, how are you? How are you? Sign in, get your extra credit for waiting for cups, plates, and napkins. And then we have lots of pizza, so.
Is that Silas?
Is it back, Silas? Yes.
Hi. Hello, Madeline. Hi, Catherine.
The camera's got to be pretty good if you can see everybody.
No, this is actually, I'm seeing people coming online.
Oh,
So,
okay. Come on in, sign in. And as soon as we get napkins, all that good stuff, we should be able to start eating our pizza.
Hi, Catherine.
Everybody's Monday going. Monday.
Hello, Ashley.
It's a Monday. Just busy, busy.
I'm made for this meeting, that's all that matters.
Yes, yes, very true, very true. It's a good way to end the day, right?
I work a lot on the weekends and then I don't have classes on Monday, but I had to work today for like my other, I've got 2 jobs, one on campus, one off campus. I don't work today for my off-campus job and I'm so tired.
Oh, you're tired. So we need to come on in and sign in. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, awesome, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chin. All right, so let's put maybe plates here. Maybe we should put plates down at the end. What do you guys think? And we'll move the sodas down a little bit. Oh, yeah. I get you. That way we kind of,
Makes more
thank you. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. All right, guys, come on up and grab some pizza, okay? And then we'll put napkins and we'll put cups down here, so that way you can get a beverage too. So definitely come up. We have lots of pizza.
No, I saw you text me.
Dr. Shin, would you like some pizza?
Oh, wait, she said,
So grab a beverage. And there's all different types, so if you want to open them up, we'll see. Got plain, pepperoni, there's pepperoni, and we got a veggie. So let's see the other one. Look at that, that looks nice. If anybody's gluten-free, I have a gluten-free over here. Is it? I would take 2, we probably have enough. So, I think we have enough. Come on in, come on in. Sign in, and then you can hit the pizza and the beverages. So welcome, welcome. I got it, come on in. Got pizza. We got veggie pizza, cheese pizza, pepperoni. So I think that's pretty good. And then pick your beverage. So.
I'm having another meeting.
But we had to wait a couple of minutes to get our plate, so hopefully. I think it should happen.
I literally, and they go, crap. So they walk out and they go,
Being the first one to pour it, it's so cool. We got Sprite, Coke. I think we have Diet Coke too there, right? And Dr. Pepper. Good mix. There too.
Elena, you're muted.
It's my student,
Yeah.
Trisha. Nice to see you. I guess it's first time we see each other, right?
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Of course, my pleasure.
I'm seeing familiar names and a few familiar faces too, which is great. Would you like us to hush online so you can all talk?
If they allowed you on another job while you were on it, I would be.
came in.
Just don't tell our boss.
Yeah, last year I had a second job. She got caught for it though.
Yeah, oh, pardon, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I forgot she did that, but yeah. She's going to Georgia.
Cleaned out 2 peeps this week. That was pretty good.
Honestly, she got a new.
Leave that caffeine.
All white. All right. I'm shaking. I'm hungry.
Make sure you sign in as you come on in. And we have lots of pieces.
That's like half a letter grade though. I don't take that.
Oh, I love that. I love when you do that, Andrea. That's my favorite.
I like it too.
Yeah, the GP set up. It looks like there's still a little bit of flame leaking.
All right.
Welcome to everyone who's just joining us online as well as on site. Did we just lose audio in the room or did you mute your mics?
Yes.
From Burnett too. He's from Dallas. That's how to sell. Okay. So I actually wanted to get. I've been back with me a couple times.
Hey there. Make sure you sign in.
I need a different. Yeah, that's what she was.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't signed in, this sheet right over there.
Make sure you get in there. Those are hookers.
IABC Tech leaders sign in too. I was trying not to.
I had a friend who one of these. I was asking him how they're like. He's like, they're really good. They have the slip. It's not like
IABC Tech leaders, make sure you sign in.
it's nice, but also when that gets really loose, your shoe gets really loose, and you can't just like quickly tie it to like. Yeah, but like they came with laces. Like if that thing breaks, you just put laces in them.
Going for the coat.
I really got them because spring break I'm going to
How much profit?
like Disney. I want to, but I'm going with family. So that means I'll be on my feet for like 12 hours a day. Like I need shoes like I'm fucking.
Very comfy.
She mentioned she has some gluten-free options.
Sure. Got it for me.
All right.
Hell.
I'm
I'm going to Bourbon Street.
I've been to Bourbon Street. I've been to Northern.
You're gonna have one drink on Bourbon Street. Don't hang out on Bourbon Street. I want to burn stuff for over 2 though.
You gotta go to.
Well, you have to get one.
Yeah.
Happy to take a look.
But people that go to New Orleans and spend their entire evening in Bourbon Street,
No, not the whole time.
dude, you gotta accept it.
Yeah, if I spend the whole night on Bourbon Street, like more than like 2 hours.
You're not leaving. We'll get robbed.
Hey guys, welcome to IABC's first semester. So glad to see all of y'all's wonderful faces. Thank you everyone for joining us online as well. I know it's kind of a later meeting, but thank you guys for showing up. So we'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, welcome back. A lot of familiar faces, so it's really good to see you guys again, and then 12 new faces. Really glad you guys are here. So we just kind of want to do a little reintroduction of who we are. So my name is Brisa Espinoza. I'm the Vice President of Planning and Programming. So kind of just like plan the meetings, do all those like meeting topics, stuff like that.
I'm Isabella Monroe. I'm VP of Branding and Engagement, so I'm on social media and just kind of promoting IABC across campus.
Hi, I'm Nedra Patel. I'm your secretary. I just keep a documentation of everything you do throughout the day. Hi, I'm Penny Wells. I'm the treasurer. I mainly just do the budget requests and running stuff. I'm Crystal. I'm VP of membership. So if you received an email, I was the one that was signing off on that. So you will be receiving an email from me after this as well. So, yeah.
So I just wanted to do a little introduction of like who we are. But yeah, let's get started. So this week we're kind of focusing on interview just 101, kind of doing the basic interview information, such as like what to wear, what kind of questions to ask, how to be in those like different situations and environments. I know it's kind of like scary going into an interview, not really feeling comfortable because you're trying to get a job and do all those kind of things. So we just kind of wanted to touch on that subject and give you guys a little bit more sense of comfort for doing that and being more prepared walking into an interview and walking out of it as well. So this week we have our very own Dr. Elena, I don't want to butcher your last name. Chudnovskaya, sorry. But she is so smart and so talented and knows so much about kind of doing interviews, especially doing virtual interviews and all that kind of stuff. So we're really lucky for her to be talking with us about this today. Elena, I don't know if you want to say anything or say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So I'm just turn the floor to her if you're good to get started on that, Elena. Not presenting. Elena, if you're ready, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Just a second.
How's your Mondays going? Monday? It's a Monday. It's a Monday, right? So much fun.
Okay, do you see my presentation?
Yes.
So I have 40 minutes, right, for presenting?
Yeah. You take your time.
So, hi everyone. My name is Elena. You can call me Elena. It's fine. I hope. Do you hear me? Because there was some problem with sound. Just want to make sure that you hear me well.
You all hear? Yes, we can.
Yes, perfect. So, why I'm today presenting this topic? First of all, I've had 10 years of professional experience in global companies, and when I was project coordinator for manufacturing developing, we had only 3 person in our team, and we rotated responsibilities. So at some point, I was responsible for hiring process, from developing the job ads, conducting interviews, and sending sad rejection letters to some, and some acceptance letter, which was very sad and very excited moment itself. So I had this experience. I conducted interviews myself. I have this experience, and also I've been through all types of interviews that we will talk today, and I experienced all types of online interviews and in-person interviews as well. So today we will talk about job search tools, job interviews, types and tips, and how to be successful at the interviews. I guess this is the most exciting part of our presentation today. And thank you so much for this great opportunity to present for our students today. As a global council of professional network, I conducted more than 50 online events, and this presentation was presented several times for professionals, and was updated based on their feedback too. So, and I'm very happy to present this information for you today to equip you with this knowledge and to make you successful. So job search tools, the most effective job search tools in my experience were LinkedIn with job postings, job fairs at different professional events, just job fairs or maybe at conferences, networking, And I have a very quick story about networking. I had a friend who couldn't find a job, and I recommended him to go to professional network and just talk to people, introduce himself, just check the opportunities. Well, he just went one time. 2 weeks later, he met a person from this professional network who was working in a company that was hiring. They had a very quick talk. He said, "Hey, just send your resume." Well, you know what? In 1 month later, he got the job. So networking is a great power. Don't neglect this opportunity. Go to conferences, go to job fairs, talk to people, introduce yourself, and you'll be fine. And our IABC team did a great job this semester. And last semester we had already information about elevated pitch. We had information how to write resumes. And now it's time how to present yourself and be successful during the interview. Okay, let's talk about job interviews. There are several types of interviews. There are technology-mediated interviews, those interviews that are conducted with help of technology. For example, Zoom, Skype, phone interviews, recorded interviews, and in-person interviews. Let's quickly talk about each of these types. Online interviews. These are interviews that are conducted via Zoom, Skype, and Teams. Very important tip. Very important. Make sure to check what platform your employee will use. It was a very funny situation not long ago when I just got an invitation for a meeting and I got a join link. Well, I joined the meeting at the time of meeting and it appeared that it was Skype. And I didn't have this program on my laptop. It took a lot of time to get these tools, and it took time. But it was just a meeting. Now imagine that you are a candidate for a job of your dream, and you don't have these tools, and you don't have this platform. And of course, it's a sad situation. So make sure check with your employers or hiring manager what platform they will use. Make sure that you have this platform installed. What are advantages of this type of interview? Of course, they provide flexibility and they are cost effective. You do not need to spend money to travel, and you can just sit comfortably at home and answer questions and present yourself during the interview process. Disadvantages, definitely technical issues such as poor internet connection or some glitches can disrupt the interview process. So what to do if it happens? And I've been there. I've been at the interview process via Zoom and there was interruption. Well, you just go back, you say sorry, maybe use some humor, say, well, today is my best day, technology loves me. So maybe some humor, create some positive tone, but stay positive. Don't get frustrated or nervous. It happens. People are on the other side of the screen too. They understand that these things happen. So don't worry, just be back to your interview and continue as it was planned. Well, another disadvantage of, for example, Zoom interview is Zoom fatigue, especially when you have a long interview. You can feel that you're tired immediately or you lose focus, especially when there are long interviews. Once I had like 4 hours or almost the whole day interview via Zoom. In this situation, make sure that during the break you have water, you can do some exercises just to stretch. You have your lunch ready, so you have some food, you get your energy back. Make sure that during those breaks you turn off your camera and your microphone, so you have your private time. Definitely establishing a personal connection may be more challenging in a virtual setting compared to a face-to-face interaction, but online interviews are extremely popular right now, and especially for the first interviews. Phone interview. Well, phone interview is an interview that is conducted via phone. Again, it's a very convenient way, cost effective. You can do it at home. Some disadvantages: without visual cues and body language, phone interviews may limit the depth of communication. And again, disruptions and background noise can be distracted or can lead to miscommunication. Recorded interviews. Well, this is a very new type of interview, and I've been there as well. So recorded interview, basically you get a link from the employer to a special platform where you are supposed to answer their questions and record your answers. For example, you get this link on Monday and you will need to record your interview by Wednesday. In my case, I had some time and some tools for preparations. For example, I had a link where I could record myself and watch this recording before I record the final interview. So again, this it was a little bit stressful because you don't see the people and you just answer questions answer questions online, but be ready to this type of interview as well. And finally, of course, in-person interview, it's facilitate direct interaction and observation of candidates, body language, and interpersonal skills, allowing for a more comprehensive assessment of their suitability for the role. Do you hear me well? Because sometimes I hear there are some disconnections. Do you hear me well?
No, you're good. Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Let's go further. So, what should we do before interview, during the interview, and after the interview? Well, first of all, be prepared. Do your homework. Before an interview, the first and most crucial step is making sure you're prepared by doing background research on the company. Making a good impression right from the start is essential. And according to some statistics, half of employers say they know whether or not a candidate will be a good fit with the first 5 minutes of an interview. So this is how important to produce this first impression. Arrive on time, don't be late. Turn off your phone, please, 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 turn on your phone. If the employer hears somebody texting you or messaging you, first of all, it demonstrates you're not serious, you're not interested in the position, it will hurt your credibility. During the interview, maintain good energy and stay positive. Very important. Again, as I said, for example, during Zoom interview or phone interview, there was some interruption. Don't worry about this. Just continue as nothing happened. Apologize, use some appropriate humor, and go further. Ask thoughtful questions, and we will talk a little bit later about different types of questions that I recommended to ask. Be prepared to respond to difficult questions. For example, if they ask you what are the biggest challenges you have faced and how you overcome them, or for example, what are your weaknesses, or for example, discuss a conflict situation and how you demonstrated your communication skills during this situation. If you Google, you can find a lot of different types of common questions that can be asked during interview. So just make a list of these questions and try to find good answers, demonstrating your strengths in every answer, demonstrating how your skills align with those job requirements. So after the interview, send a thank you letter. It's very important. It's a great chance to reinforce why you're the best person for this job. It's a great opportunity to highlight something you may have forgotten to mention during the interview. I remember once I was so excited about the interview, but I forgot about some very important skills. So in my thank you letter, I said, well, thank you so much for interview. It was great. By the way, our conversation also brought memories that I've been in this situation and I have this knowledge. Hope it will be also helpful for this position. So I use this as to highlight something that I just forgot to tell during the interview. It happens. And don't only send it, but do it promptly. According to statistics, 57% of job seekers don't send thank you emails or notes. Don't be one of them. Not only do employers expect to receive a thank you email, but also it should be done in timely manner within 24 hours after the interview. Show that it demonstrates you're interested, you're passionate about this position, you do want to work here. All right, next. Think about before, during, and after interview from another angle. First and last impressions matter. So as we said, first impression is extremely important. Make sure that you look professional. Your background, if it is Zoom interview, professional, you look professional. There can be some considerations. For example, if you get invitation for an interview, sometimes employers send you some time spots, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 3:30, 4, 5. For me, it's always like, it was like, should I be the first? Should I be the last? What are strengths to be first? What are weaknesses to be first or last? So it's always going on in your mind. Well, for me, it was always to be later in the interview process because it provided me some time to be better prepared and learn about the company. But it depends on the person. If you feel better just to be done and not to be nervous waiting for your interview, maybe this is a good for you too. But just think about this after this presentation. How would you feel comfortable? Just prepare yourself mentally. What is the best option for you? But don't forget to do your homework, conduct research to know more about the company and about your position. And again, last impression, this is your thank you email. And it's very important that it is sent within 24 hours. And later in this presentation, we will consider several examples of final of letters. Okay. So when we're talking about look professional and backgrounds, you can see two different backgrounds. So the first background, does it look professional? Yes, no, maybe? Well, definitely no. Like, well, messy apartment, messy places, definitely not professional. But believe me, especially when I was teaching public speaking, I saw students recorded videos and there are messy rooms, they're bad, dirty dishes, and you're like, it does not look professional. And this is, again, your first impression. The second picture definitely look professional, and this is how you want to look. These images demonstrate your seriousness, your desire to work in this company, and create strong or weak credibility. Definitely first picture is not very strong credibility, and second picture, great first impression. So what should we avoid? How to make our background professional? This is what objects to avoid in your video, and this was from some interview site. You bet you saw that it was not professional. Food and drinks. When it's fine to have a bottle of water because sometimes during the interview you need to drink, but just make sure that it is not your main background, not in the center of your screen. Clothes. Some messy clothes or messy room, it's always not a great impression. People or animals, well, for your interview, make sure that you have a space where your pets or family members are not in the main picture or on the screen. Remember, the main focus on you and on your desire to work. And again, cell phone. If the employers see the light of the cell phone, they clearly see that your cell phone is not turned off, and again, it will damage your credibility. So make sure that your background is clean, nice, look professional. Make a test with your friends, make a Zoom call and ask them, hi, how do I look? Do I look fine? Do you think it's a little bit distracting? And if it is Zoom interview, there are some background options that you can use to look professional. Okay, now that we talk about background, let's talk about how dress to impress professionally. What is appropriate? Well, first of all, research the company, and LinkedIn 2023 article recommends research the company culture. In some companies, for example, IT companies or some art design companies, maybe business casual will be appropriate. In some companies, for example, I worked in global business companies, definitely formal business was most appropriate. For men, this typically means a suit in a conservative color, such as navy, gray, or black, tie, polished dress shoes. For ladies, it again can be a suit with pants or skirt, or a professional dress or blouse with a skirt or tailored pants. And again, some neutral colors are preferred. Avoid excessive patterns or flashy accessories. So don't use something distractive. Make sure that main focus on you, on your knowledge and all your skills, on you as a professional. Okay, now when we make great first impression, how should we behave during the interview? And I have a video for you what can be very successful tip during the interview. Please let me know if you hear a video from the very beginning. I hope you will hear it well.
First student walks in, sits down.
Yeah,
Do you hear it well? Yeah.
Gets asked, why do you want to work in private equity? I studied engineering at MIT. I have a very strong quantitative background, spent 4 years at Goldman Sachs after that. Now I'm finishing up my MBA at Harvard Business School. I've taken all the finance classes, private equity classes. I'm very strong quantitatively. I really love finance. Bravo, impressive. Next student comes in, student number 2, sits down. Why do you want to work in private equity? Yeah, my CV, you see that I went to MIT, I studied engineering, I've got the quant. I spent 4 years at Goldman. Now I'm finishing up at HBS. But the real reason I didn't appreciate it until yesterday, I called my dad last night, told him I was coming to this interview. I said, Dad, they're going to ask me why I want to work in private equity. I need a good answer. First thing my dad asked me was, what's private equity? I explained to him. As soon as I did, he said, you tell him it's because of bicycles. What do you mean bicycles? So remember those broken down, abandoned bicycles in the neighborhood? You kept bringing them home, put it in the garage, sandpaper it, spray paint it, take your toothbrush outside, get all the rust off the chain. What'd you brush your teeth with anyway? Squirt WD-40 on it, replace the inner tube, sell it to some kid in the neighborhood for $100. You always had way more money than your friends from selling those bicycles. So if I understand you correctly, son, you explain to him tomorrow that it's what you've been doing since you were 12 years old. You sell bicycles. They need to hire you. Partner goes home that evening, is having dinner with her husband. He says, how's recruiting going? Did you meet anyone interesting? She says, you will not believe this. I met this guy today. He said we should hire him because he's interested in finance. No, she's already forgot about him. He's gone. She's going to go home, tell the bicycle story to her husband that night. 10 years later, when the bicycle story guy is being promoted to partner in the firm, she's going to retell the bicycle story again now at his celebration. She's going to toast him, say, you'll never believe what this sucker told me, retell the bicycle story to the people in the room, and she'll be able to remember it 10 years later. $100 becomes $300 because of inflation, but more or less it's the same story. Now, why does she do that? Why did she hire him instead of quant finance guy? Because she knows that in a year, 2 years from now, or maybe immediately, he's going to be sent to Thibodaux, Louisiana, to meet Wade Boudreaux, who has a cement company. He's going to have to play golf with Wade Boudreaux and make Wade Boudreaux want to do business with him. Does Wade Boudreaux want to do business with quantitative I like finance guy or with the bicycle guy? If you know anything about Wade Boudreaux, you know what the answer is. Stories are going to create connections, generate sales, increase clients, all the stuff that matters. The CV stuff, that's there. That's impressive. That mattered a long time ago. What's going to matter in the future, much, much more, is the ability to connect, to tell stories. Stories.
Well, I think it's a wonderful example to demonstrate what is one of the tips that help to create this connection. And believe me, during interview, one little story that demonstrate your skill, for example, something that demonstrate your team skills, some example from your team project, or some example of what is your hobby. I remember at one interview, I was asked about my hobby, and I was so passionate about this. And later when I was talking to the person who hired me, manager, he said, you were so passionate about your hobby that I said, well, this lady will be passionate about her job and product as well. So this story helped me to get the job. Well, now let's talk about what questions you can ask, because interview is not only way when interviewers ask you about yourself. It's a way to ask about the company and to learn more about the place where you're planning to work. And there are several types of questions about the specific job. For example, what are your expectations for me in this role? And make sure to personalize your questions that will allow the hiring manager to begin seeing you in this role. What are your expectations for me in this role? What are the most immediate projects that I would take on? So something that shows that you're interested in the job, and you also personalize your questions. Questions about your team. Can you tell me about the team I'll be working with? What will I work with most closely? What other departments or units will I interact with? Questions about the company and culture. For example, what are your favorite part of working here? How would you describe the company's values or culture? And believe me, sometimes when you come to the interview, you can see how people communicate, interact, and it will provide you additional information about the company culture and how people treat each other. Questions about personal development, career path, and future opportunities, a great type of questions showing that you really want to grow personally and professionally in this company, and you really consider this as a long-term perspective. For example, questions can be, what learning and development opportunities will I have in this role? The next set of questions, closing questions, very important questions as well, because you will show that you're really interested in the further steps. You're really interested to know about how the hiring process will be developed. Is there anything else I can provide you with that would be helpful? Is there anything I clarify for you about my qualifications? What are the next steps in the hiring process? It's a very good question. It will provide you information about timeline, and also will show again that you're serious about this position. You're interested to know the further steps. And definitely there are some questions to avoid. I put red color here, questions to avoid. Those questions are, what's the salary? What the starting salary? Can you tell me about your health insurance? What are your paid leave policies? Well, especially on the first interviews is just to get to know each other. And usually this information is provided by the employer on the further stages of interview, usually on the third interview, if it is the last stage of the hiring process. Well, now that we talked about how we should prepare for the interview, what should we do during the interview, now let's talk about thank you note. Thank you email is one of the important last impression element. Well, thank you note should include subject line, personalized greeting, note of appreciation, recap of your qualifications, optional, but it will reinforce your qualifications and your skills that align with this position. Prompt to take the next steps, and definitely contact information. It will look professional and show that you really want them to contact you later. And here's an example of thank you note. Subject line, precise, include the date of the interview. Thank you for the interview. Hello, Mr. Gray. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me yesterday afternoon. I enjoyed our conversation about the marketing manager position and appreciated learning more about working with the marketing team. I think my master's in marketing and 3 years of marketing experience would make me an excellent candidate for the role. I look forward to discussing this opportunity with you more. Again, you remind them about your great qualifications that will fit this position. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you need additional information about my references. Thank you, Hannah. And then signature block where you have your email, your phone number, and your full name. So it looks professional, to the point. You show appreciation for their time, you reinforced your skills, and you have nice closing. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have additional information or need more information about me. Well, what should we do if we got a rejection? Very sad situation, but it happens. Again, don't get frustrated. I've been there too. First reaction is so sad, especially if you've gone through several stages of interview and finally you're excited to get an answer and be accepted, but you're rejected. Well, take this situation again as an opportunity. Demonstrate that you still are very interested to work with the company, that if there are some additional job openings will happen or they will need more people for their company, you're ready to work and you will be happy to consider this opportunity as well. Believe me, when I received a rejection email, I was very frustrated, but then you take yourself like, well, okay, it happens, but let's move forward. And here's an example. Dear Dr. Grinet, thank you for your email. I truly enjoyed meeting with you and discussing the position of assistant manager at your company. I want to thank you for taking the time to tell me about the job and the company. So you're grateful for their time and this opportunity. Well, I was disappointed to learn that you'd be moving forward with another candidate. I appreciated the chance to speak with you and learn more about what your company will be doing in this coming year. I was especially interested in the ABC project and how it will affect the marketplace. As a big fan of your company, I'll be watching the rollout with interest. You show again, yes, you're a human being. You really wanted to work, you're frustrated, but you're still interested in this company development because you're a fan and you admire this company. No hard feelings. I guess for me, this line, no hard feelings. We will continue. I hope that you'll keep me in mind for future opportunities, as I know your company is growing. I'd love the chance to put my skills to work for an organization that I admire. Sincerely, Jane Cleese. Well, believe me, in my experience, it was such a situation, and I wrote very nice and positive email. And believe me, in a couple of months, they contacted me, and there was another job opening, and I had another interviews, and I got a job. So use any situation as your opportunity. And again, I just wanted to show some main sections for this response to rejection. It should include mention the job you're interested for, because there can be a lot of candidates and a lot of rejections, a lot of positions. Remind them about the job that you interviewed for. Thank the interviewer for meeting with you. Thank you for taking your time. Be grateful. Show your gratitude for their time, for this opportunity. Express your disappointment or frustration. Well, we are all human beings. Again, showing frustration shows that you were really interested, and yes, you're a human being, you're sad. And finally, ask to consider for other positions. I hope that you'll keep me in mind for future opportunities, as I know your company is growing. I'd love the chance to put my skills to work for an organization that I admire. So I think it's very professional, to the point, indicate that no hard feelings and you are very interested in case of new job openings. Well, today we discussed what we should do before an interview. Don't forget to do your homework, conduct research, and be well prepared. We discussed what to do during the interviews, maintain good energy and stay positive. Be prepared to respond to difficult questions and ask thoughtful questions. And finally, last impression after the interview, don't forget to send thank you email within 24 hours where you will demonstrate gratitude and strong desire to work in this company. And to, in addition to my experience, I conducted a lot of research to prepare updated information on these processes. It's a little thesis work, but I use Indeed, I use LinkedIn information, Harvard Business Review, and hope you found these sources helpful. So interviews 101, questions and answers. And this is now turned to Brisa, the way she see the process next. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Elena. Just to echo what she said, do y'all have any questions or anything you want to ask her? That all like sounded smooth and so great. Thank you, Elena, once again. Very informative.
And I think we are on good timing, right?
Yeah, we're doing great. Okay. So just kind of echoing what she said during her presentation, like why are interviews important? It's important just to be prepared when walking into the interview because you want to show the potential employer that you know what you're talking about, you know your own resume, you know what their values are as a company and what their vision is, and then you're able to provide that your expertise to them. And as well as during the interview, I know a lot of times employers will say like they want to really know your personality, know who you are, and see if you're really going to be a good fit for the company because they can look at your resume, they can see all the things you do on paper, but it also is dependent on who you are and things apart from that. And so that's why it's important to have a good representation of yourself during it, as well as afterwards, which is saying the thank you letter. It's really important just to kind of like tell employers so they can remember your name and remember who you are. And it's like nice to see that you actually care about the position and you're passionate about wanting it, as well as just working for their company. And then sometimes you don't get the position and it sucks, but then to have that same like nice response and just saying, hey, thank you for the opportunity for interviewing. If you have another opportunity available, would be like so great to interview. And so that just keeps them like you on their radar. So just really important stuff, just to be prepared for interviews and just feel really comfortable doing that. So just some like a couple announcements. Please make sure to join our org on Tech Connect. You guys haven't done that already. If you guys could, that'd be slay. Sorry. I can help y'all like go through that. So you'll go on like Tech Connect. It's like a website. You can just like Google it, and then it'll pop up, and then you'll search up IABC, and it should be one of the first things that pop up on there. And then mine doesn't say it because I had already joined, but it should say like right next to the contact thing, a little join button. And then once you join on there, you're set, and then we'll give you guys some more next steps on that in our next meeting. But if you guys want to do that now, if you want to do it later, I can help you guys if you guys don't know or can't find it, or one of us can help you. Yeah, just do that, which we would love so dearly. I'll give you a quick sec. And then also, we have our next IABC meeting in 2 weeks from now. It's Monday, February 19th. We'll kind of be talking about the importance of personal branding and how to use social media to your advantage. We'll have Professor Magus kind of talk to us about that. She's right over there. She is great. She teaches like the social media influencing class and knows about a bunch about like those kind of things. It's just important, especially now in this day and age, to really know how to use social media and market yourself, because employers do that. Anyone that's interested will be checking out on that. So that's the registration QR code. If you guys want to scan that, we'll also send it out. It's going to be on our link tree on our social media as well as the GroupMe, and I'll give you guys the QR code for the GroupMe in a second. Just scan that. It's really important if you guys register beforehand so we can, and then so we can just make sure to get a head count of everything. Like enough food and plates. It'll be at 6:30. Yeah, sorry. I was wondering where it's going to be. TBD on the room, somewhere within MCOM at 6:30.
I'll send out
Yeah.
an email letting y'all know. And if you go to this registration link and register, it'll send you updates when I make an update to the registration about what room it's in. Yeah. So.
And then we'll also put the information on like the social media and everything, so you guys have multiple models to check out for that. Okay, and then also this is the QR code for our group meet. So we have a group meet that's going to send out like any information about potential, new meetings. If you guys have any information you guys want to share, like any internship stuff, I know like we shared some stuff before. You can check it out on there, and then just kind of give you guys the chance to do all you guys can also ask us any questions or just like any good news or anything you want to talk about. Shoot a text on there. And then these are just our socials, so you guys can follow us on social media. If you guys want any announcements, like we were saying, just cool things, any updates. That's our Instagram, Facebook, and then X, formerly known as Twitter. So it's all on there. Do you guys have any questions or anything? Yeah.
Are there any dues for this club by any chance?
Yeah, Emily, yeah.
So currently, I've been speaking with one of our advisors on dues, and they want to be part of the chapter, because IABC is not only just a Texas Tech club, it is also like a national and club, and there's a Dallas chapter, which is going to be kind of our overall head chapter. But in order to be officially a member of IABC, we have to pay dues to the Dallas chapter. So eventually we'll be sending out a link, and I believe that the due price is about $40 per year, but don't quote me on it because we're still working out the kinks. But I will be announcing that at our next meeting. Exactly what it is.
Since we just recently got founded within Texas Tech this past year, it's still kind of a process just getting all those things figured out. But we're like all set up, so we're just trying to get those little kinks done. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
How do people even pay attention to this presentation for nearly an hour? I have no idea. It was so it was just such a breath of information.
Yeah, some people take notes and write stuff down so they'll be able to remember things that they're talking about and just kind of paying attention to what's being said. Yeah. Anything else? Cool. We just want to get a last little picture if you guys want to stand up here, and then we'll keep that for social media. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Great.
And then thank you for all the people online for joining us. I'd like to look back. Front guys.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it was
Yeah, I'm just doing my stuff. We can do a both switch. I can do both. Tough one. Should be coming up soon.
All right, guys, we have to come in closer together though. So really tall people in the back, that means I'm not in the back.
Yes, we'll pull back before we go.
For everyone that's online, if you would like to turn your camera on, we can get in on the picture, so to speak. We'll be on the screen above. It's a little corny.
No, you're okay.
Okay,
We're good.
how about you?
No, you're so okay right now.
Please, if you're attending online right now, turn your camera on and let's show up on the screen.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Now, guns up. Perfect. Got it.
Thank y'all so much.
I know, we
guys
all
at our
love
next meeting. Thank y'all.
I know how to do that.
And then there's some pizza left still if you guys want to grab a slice as you're leaving or anything.
So I can just work study tomorrow. So I don't know if I can make it. So if I can't make it, you can watch.
Yes.